What's going on, everybody? Judd Burden here with Asphalt Kingdom, and I'm here tonight. Man, we are far away from each other, but you know what? It's so cool with technology and the way we're able to connect today. Social media platforms, Zoom, Google Meet, all the different awesome things that we're able to actually be able to see each other and connect. I'm here with Grant tonight he's out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Black Widow Sealcoating. And we had the opportunity to meet at the National Pavement Expo this last cold winter. And certainly it was cool to connect, man. We met over at Marvin Joel's jam that he had going on for Blacktop Banner at that restaurant that night. And we just connected and started to chat. And then we ended up having a night out with John Schneider from Mixtech and stuff. That was really fun. And got chatting, man. And it was just really good to meet you. It was really good to connect and actually be able to have some great conversations. So welcome, man. And I hope tonight we can inspire some people to really dream big and certainly to listen to your story too, brother. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem, Judd. Appreciate you having me.
So why don't we dig in? Why don't you tell the audience about kind of what your journey's been? I know that you're busy and you're having fun out on jet skis and stuff, and building the future that's different than probably where it was back when you first started, right?
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way. I find now that my free time in the summer is very limited, so I'm selective on what I do with my free time. But yeah, I mean, this is our third season of business, and it's just, we've 10x'd every year that we've been in business. And it's just wild. We've got more 5-star reviews than anybody in our area. We have, I think, some of the smoothest communication with our customers and how we go from bidding a job to finishing a job. And it's just really taken off over the last few years. And there's a great crew around me, mentoring me along the way, and it's just been incredible of a journey so far.
So this is fun for me because, it's like we do a lot of storytelling. Like when we host our retreats and, do different things that are pretty intimate, we end up getting into pretty deep storytelling. And what we're talking about right now is like, I want to dig in. I really want to dig our claws into what it is that this journey has been for you legitimately. And, I think here's the thing, right? We do our very best to share and shine light. And what I'm asking for tonight with you, brother, is I'm asking for you to actually brighten up the light tonight for people watching that might be in a spot that is like a pivotal point in their life to be able to change the way that they might be seeing things, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. But what I've noticed in life is that we're kind of navigating through life in this average mindset where we have these blinders on. You see Clydesdales running along, trotting along, pulling a wagon and all. They have the blinders on so they don't get distracted. And that's kind of what the master has put on their head. And I feel like in a way society is kind of, we're trained to just have the blinders on, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, shit, if we could start to explore what it's like to have those off and start seeing things a little bit differently and gain some more perspective, then maybe we can go from a spot that might be kind of standstill, unsure about our future, because we all know that in our late teens, early 20s, and a lot of us don't know exactly what we're going to do with our life. And so can you go back in time to kind of where you maybe come from, if you don't mind sharing that kind of intimacy of what your journey has been, because that's what's going to help people.
Yeah, I guess just starting my business was a lot. Going through, I was working several different construction jobs in the summer and doing this stuff on the side, and everybody has the point of where you're making more money doing your business than you are doing whatever on the side. So then you go, you got to come up with that, you either stay small and do it like that, or you just jump in. And we got 4 full-time guys this year and a sales girl that's doing some sales for us, and just building it up. And it's definitely been tough. I'll say that too. You have to be able to always, you have to trust your gut in every move you make, and you have to know you really, really want it. I think the only someone gave me that advice, you know, and I think it's just self-explanatory. You have to really know. You can talk to everybody and do whatever, but you have to really know in your heart that what you're doing is for the right cause and you believe in it. And I mean, my relentless pursuit of trying to perfect what we do every day, and my drive has been what has led us here. But it definitely hasn't been easy. I think my friends and family around me don't know the struggles that I've had to go through to get my business to where it is in 3 years. A lot of stress, a lot of sacrifice, but you have to you get what you put in. Nothing great is you have to risk. You have to risk it, and just focusing on doing the right things, whatever it is, being good with your customers, just focusing on doing the right stuff, and don't get distracted on other your competition or pricing or other stuff like that. Focus on getting good at what you're selling, and we're like one of the highest contractors in the area. Like I think we're probably one of the highest guys. If I have to go put sealer down, I'm gonna get paid for it.
So let me ask you this, because I hear that there's sacrifices, which I understand, brother, like for sure. Running a business is not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy being a leader. It's not easy having to build culture. It's not easy having to make sure you're instilling core values. It's not easy. Any of that stuff's not easy, but it's a shit lot harder to sit on a couch, sitting there unsure of what your next move is going to be, and being in that kind of mindset of fuckery, excuse the way I say that so bluntly. It's like, and to me, that's like, we have a choice to take a step forward to do something. Would you say you're obsessed with your business?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Anybody that knows me would be like, Grant doesn't care about anything besides his business. They would be like, that's all that guy talks about. I mean, women that are in my life are like, oh my God, that's all, but yeah, I mean, that's absolutely, you gotta be obsessed. Yeah.
So you're obsessed with your business, and it's because what is it that you love? What are you obsessed with? Are you obsessed with the challenge? Are you obsessed with the growth? Are you like, give us what really, really excites you to wake up in the morning by owning your own business?
Growing a company that provides a much needed service to our growing community in my local hometown, and being able to be out there with my clean ass every day, banging jobs with the boys. Everybody in town knows when we're going through, and it's just getting bigger. And I mean, helping people, I mean, it's a much needed service, and I think people forget that. The owner of Rose Paving said it best. He says, we're providing a much needed service to our growing community. And I like the way he said that. I says, it is a much needed service. And, I mean, that's what we're here for.
That's incredible. What are your thoughts regarding the younger generations who might be considering a service-based business in general? Would you say like that's something that you'd recommend to the younger generations, or is it something you'd recommend they stay clear of?
No, yeah, I would for sure recommend it. I mean, I think anybody that's running a pressure washing business, an asphalt maintenance business, a lawn care business, service-based businesses, I mean, in 2023, people are just getting lazier, I feel, and people are not doing stuff. And if you can, I mean, showing up is 90%, someone told me. I don't know if it's 90%, maybe it's 70%, but it's, showing up and doing the work, putting the work in. That, I mean, you got to show up and put the work in. I mean, if you're doing any business like that and you're good at it and you can grow it, I think in the future, there's never going to be a time more that we need businesses like this and small community-based businesses to be growing. Highly would recommend it.
What would you say, what would you say the number one thing that drives you through the hard times the most? When you're in the dumps, when you're in the dumps and you're having and it's a shitty day, it pours rain on a seal coat job and it splatters everywhere. You're dealing with guys that haven't shown up. You're dealing with whatever it is. Like, you're having a piss poor shitty day. What gets you through that?
Sometimes I think whatever the hell the issue is, it's gonna have to try a lot fucking harder for me to quit. I mean, I just take it and I roll with it, and you just keep going. I mean, everything you just said. I've hired and fired probably a half dozen to a dozen guys this year, rotated labor in and out. I've, gone to a job, had issues with the rig, had to pull back. I hit a deer with one of my main trucks the second week of the season. Then it's insurance and it's shop and it's, I've had that. And there's nothing you can do but just keep going. You can't, you got 150 grand worth of work sold on the books and you hit a deer, you're going to need to keep going. And, but those headaches definitely come. And if the younger generation is, thinking about getting into business, not to scare you, but things like that happen and you have to be able to problem solve. Problem solving is huge.
It is. I love that too. It's like, you cannot experience growth until you've actually felt significant pain. Like, you have to feel adversity, you have to feel challenge, you have to feel pain from a situation to be able to overcome that adversity, overcome the challenge, to experience the pain associated with that, and to grow from that, right? Like, yeah, that's painful to grow. It's painful.
It's painful to grow fast too, when you I think I talked to Jake Abernathy, he's, over there in Madison, huge company. And he would say this, taking those huge step jumps in business where you go from X amount of dollars, 3 times the sales next year, incorporating multiple new positions of employment at your business, and you open the door way bigger, holding on to that as like riding a horse, holding on to that and riding it out and riding it out and being good with it. That, is stressful and painful too, very much so. Everybody's jumping high. It costs to do that.
How does it feel for you to see people like Jake Abernathy growing the hell out of his business? How is that for you? What does that feel like for you?
Me and quite a bit of other guys talk to Jake, and it's inspiring it's extremely inspiring. Goes to show really what can be done. Multiple different locations in different states. That's wild. That's, that's crazy. I think that just shows the solid, constant determination. And the work is out there. Like, anybody in any area, like, the work is there. You're gonna have to do tactical things to get the work. Facebook ads, Google ads, rankings, reviews. You're gonna have to pump money into that stuff. You're gonna have to educate yourself on that. But like, if you're in a good populated area, the work for pavement maintenance is going to be there. You just have to be able to help people solve their problems and take their money and do the whole system smoothly, and Jake has, like, on his website, you can go there and you can fill a whole quote out and they get a hold of it. It's like a seamless process, and just flawless systems that are in place on those larger companies are, what we're trying to incorporate, I think it's wild.
What do you think the biggest challenge that you have right now to grow to the next stage? Like, what's the most challenging thing for you right now?
So I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's, I'm at a really good spot with asphalt maintenance and seal coating, but I have the opportunity to buy out a local infrared company. This guy, we work hand in hand. Every parking lot we do, if it's alligator cracked, this guy, Joel, comes out and he does all our infrared stuff. 32-year-old business. He's an old guy. He's got 2 infrared trucks. He just wants to sell out. And I'm like, oh man, I know we're going great in gangbusters with seal coating, crack filling, striping, and patching, but like, I'm like, I would be in such a good opportunity to snag this business right here in my hometown and then offer infrared patching and then have 30 years of contacts. And, you know, I want to do it and I'm planning to do it. And so just embracing the suck that's going to be ahead to get through this is going to be tough, you know, and then adding that to it. But that's probably one of my biggest challenges right now. And I mean, money management in the off season is a challenge too. I think any business owner would tell you that, starting the season out. The cost to start the season out, we started pretty heavy this season and it cost a lot to get going. You know, that wasn't fun, but you get through it.
It's definitely a challenge for a lot of people. Money management is a massive issue, not just for seasonal businesses. It's a challenge for anybody that's making real money, and making real money. There's 2 different definitions of making real money. Real money to a lot of people is revenue, and to other people it's cash, like real cash in your pocket. And I say this all the time, like when we're doing our coaching and stuff, I'm always saying cash is king. Like your bottom line is all that matters. When you have that cash that's sitting there in front of you and all your payables are paid and all your receivables are in and you've got that cash and you're looking at that fat stack that's there in your hand, then you can actually say, my business has made real money. But when you're looking at the fat stack of revenue and you're not remembering all of the payables that you have with vendors and whatever terms you've got set out with your vendors, whatever it is, what your staff is, your insurance, your cell phone bills, licensing, whatever you have, your truck payments, all of it, and you still don't have enough of a float that's going to hold you through getting started, hold you through the winter, but then get started with your season, you can end up completely fucked. Like you can end up there in the spring, like you made 500 grand last year, and guess what? Along comes February and you're having to borrow money from your parents just to get kick-started with your supplies. And I can tell you that that's a real painful thing for our industry. You agree with that?
150%, absolutely. That's one of the biggest reasons. As soon as I got into business, I was like focusing on my credit score, getting my credit score up so I can get a business line of credit. Last year, I got my business line of credit with the business and just being able to have access to a safety net in the spring, but also, you know, sitting down and looking at, you know, how much money we're making and really what, you know, I think people bid jobs knowing that they're making money, but not knowing how much money they're making. And I think people run their businesses the same way, knowing that they're making money, but not knowing how much money they're making. And I shouldn't even sit here and talk like I don't do the exact same thing, because I do. But we're on our journey to, you know, and we're finding out every day exactly what's going on with it and how much money we're making and really how to price jobs and everything like that.
What we're talking about right now, Grant, like this piece, this part of this session, this freestyle session is such a crucial thing, and we could expand on this thing. Like I almost want to do a 2.0 just on this, because what I just did literally on Thursday, like we created a job costing calculator inside AK, inside of the back end account, where it goes down, where it breaks down job costing by service, and then you can actually assign the margin that you want to earn after you've entered all of your costs associated with the service. But it was limited because it was only specific to the service, like seal coating, striping, crack repair, infrared. So what I did was I built a Google sheet. You might have seen some stuff going out on social media about keys to the vault that we've been pushing out. Maybe not, but keys to the vault. Basically, I've created a Google Drive folder that has like marketing, sales, core values, foundation building, you know, all the culture building side of the business. But I created a job costing calculator that's within a Google sheet that I've built out all of the formulas so that when you type into the blue fields, you enter your costs, it literally will spit out what it is that you are going to do on an assumptive quotation with this margin, but then to the right of it is the actual variance. So when you finish your job, you input all the data and it will show you how close your assumption was to what it actually was. And so it's assumptive, actual, and then your variance at the bottom. And so you're able to actually understand how close you were. So that as you continue to get better, because you're now in the industry for 3 years, you're starting to already know what you can do because you've been in it for 3 years. But when you were in it for your first year, man, you were asking questions I'm sure of, like this. What does the industry, like, what should I charge per square foot for seal coating? What should I charge per linear foot for crack sealing? And it's like, you cannot just ask that question and do it based upon that, because you don't know what all your costs are. You haven't thought about that. So when you go to price a job, it's possible you're going to lose money, right?
Yeah. We cost all our jobs down. So, you know, if we go do a parking lot, I'm like 35,000 square foot parking lot. We have this data where we've done 35,000 square foot parking lots, and on average, we used 14 boxes of rubber, which is 300 pounds or whatever it is. You know, I'm just doing fast math. We'll factor that in if it's you know, on that big stuff, it's hard to know really how much rubber you're going to use. You can just factor your average data in and bid it off of that, and then you have to have your profit margin enough comfortable buffer to, you know, if I have to use 2 more boxes of rubber on a parking lot or 4 more, like, it's not like I'm going home and I can't pay my bills because of that. You have to know that buffer, and also paying your truck and your rig. I think one thing that we started doing this year that, you know, is helping is my truck and my rig gets an hourly pay every hour that it's working. So every job that we're on, the homeowners are paying for my, you know, it's 50, 60 grand worth of equipment in a driveway to do a $500 or $600 job. If you're like, you know, I started from the bottom with nothing, but like as we go, we have all really nice industry leading equipment now, and just paying on that, because trucks aren't free and rigs aren't free. And in 4 years, you're gonna have 4 years, 5 years for a new truck, and, you know, maybe 5 or 10 years for another rig. You have to factor that in. So
what did you start with?
Job cost.
What did you start with? What did you start
I started with an AK55 drum sprayer, and I went to Menards. And I got, I don't even want to, I went to Menards and I got 3 55-gallon drums of Seal Master. And the dude saran wrapped it and put it on a wooden pallet. And he forklifted it up onto a landscape trailer. And I put it in a storage unit. I ordered an AK55, put it in. I went and I did 3 driveways, did 4 driveways. We started brushing driveways. And at the end of the summer, I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually made money doing this. And you know, that was just the beginning, you know. And then you see, like, you have to see what the potential's there, and then that's what motivates you to just, like, I know what's there in this area, and like,
dude, that was 3 fucking years ago, bro. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And you have industry leading equipment now. What are you operating with 3 years later? What are you operating with?
We have a Craftco 100 shot melter, and then I have a Simline 850-gallon spray rig with a 9-foot spray bar on the back for when we do big stuff. And I have 2 F250s, and we got, you know, trying to set up late season here, but I'm trying to set up a prep crew to go out, and then our spray crew. But we're putting a lot of sealer down. We're going through, I don't know, 1,500 gallons a week, I'd say. 1,500 gallons a week. That's 300 or 400 gallons a day with rain days. That's, you know, we just finished up 19 driveways for a homeowners association, and we did it in 2 days. And actually got some drone footage coming soon from the job. It's gonna be pretty cool. But, you know, just growing with that. I mean, just keeping the rig full and keeping the guys moving and keeping this pump and sealer. I mean, putting it down.
I couldn't be more stoked for you, man, to think in 3 years. Like, 3 years happens quickly, man. 3 years was like the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. yeah, it's crazy to see. Oh, it is just so crazy. I'm excited for next year. I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, what is it going to be like next year? You know, I'm like, we crushed our goal this year. Our goal is $250,000 this year. We crushed that, and I don't even know where we're going to end up at. But just, you know, we're still booking workout. You know, there's the lulls of the season, but you just adapt. You know, I mean, recently we've done Facebook ads, and we're pumping a lot of money a month into Facebook ads, and it's starting to produce for us. So adapting with that and riding that out, and all these old timers in the area, not to rip on the competition, because I love some guys, but some of these older guys in the area, you know, they're tired and worn out, and they're doing the mailbox flyers. Not that those don't work, but I think this generation, and it's 2023, being on social media and being in front of people's face on Facebook, and you know, I mean, when they're driving their cars in the morning to work, being on the radio, I think, you know, I mean, stuff like that, you know, I think that stuff is great. And Facebook and Google.
If you had one wish for the industry, one wish for the industry as a whole, what would that be?
Everybody should raise their price. I think a lot of us are out there working really hard, and I think we need to get paid better for it. You know what I mean? I know union companies that do asphalt maintenance, and the money that they're getting to crack fill roadways is substantially more money than we're getting to crack fill private plazas and restaurants. And I mean, I think just raising the standard, I think, you know, but this business, it's very easy to be way down at the bottom, and it's also easy to completely segregate yourself and be a top, like we are a top tier contractor. Like we're clean, our equipment is clean, our trucks are clean, our uniforms are clean. We have yard signs, we got, you know, our Facebook, we got QR codes on our seal coat trailer, Judd. What other guy has a QR code to his website on his rig? I mean, we're doing the stuff here. So I mean, just, you know, it's wild to see where it's going. But I think being the best you can do in it, don't half-ass it, and be a half-ass seal coater. There's plenty of half-ass seal coaters out there. You know.
So question for you, because you shared this with me, and I want to share, because I know there's somebody else that's going to be watching this on a YouTube video somewhere. Straight up, I want to ask you. So, like, there was a moment that you told me about where a YouTube video played, and it happened just to spike the interest. But I want to hear it, and I know that this moment in this kind of session that we have may get somebody on the couch too.
Yeah. I mean, I think everything that he's doing, with you and Marvin Joels and the Blacktop Banner and the AK and the Round Table and everybody having their own private network and groups of people that can all come together and help each other. I think, you know, there's kind of like a group, you know, like even in Wisconsin, I know quite a few contractors here in Wisconsin, Jake being one of them, Bob Weiss, he's in Janesville, Wisconsin, you know, John Schneider's just in the next state away. Everybody kind of knowing where it's like a family, it's like a spider web of people, you know, throughout the states, and like, you know, going to the expos and meeting people and yeah, it's just its own community.
So imagine this, somebody right now is watching this video and they're thinking about potentially doing something with their life, but they haven't figured it out yet. What's your advice to the person watching this right now?
If you don't know what you want to do with your life and you don't know if you'd be good in business, maybe think about that first. You know, to be honest, to be in business, it's tough. It's very tough. It's still tough for us. It's certainly possible, but you have to be willing from the time you get into business to be able to be like, I have never been up against a challenge that's gonna, you know, be in front of me, but whatever happens, I'm going to fucking crush it, and we're going to keep moving forward. And you have, you know, I mean, if you don't know what you want to do, but you're set on running an asphalt maintenance business, then run your asphalt maintenance business and run it good, because that's, you know, I mean, you can't, if someone doesn't have that motivation and you don't have that heart in your business, it's not going to go far though. You know, I mean, you can, if you're just in it for the money, that's, you know, you got to be in it. Like, what gets me going is that I'm growing my business in my community, and we're providing a much needed service in our community. And I get to see, you know, and everybody, you know, you just get bigger and bigger and more people know you. I mean,
I think that's awesome advice, man. I think it's awesome advice. It's like, don't buy into, if you know that you're not going to have the motivation to power forward with something and stay truly dedicated and determined at it. Like, if you know in your head that you'd just be better off going to get a job somewhere and just getting a monthly salary, you know, or an hourly wage, if you know in your head that that's what you want, that's what you desire rather, then do that. Don't go and buy into what could be a pipe dream for you because you already know you're not going to win over there. Like, if you want to really, if you really believe with conviction that you want to go build a business and you want to build a future that you desire by creating something that is your own, that you can then hire people and build teams and scale and learn and be a part of communities, if that's what you truly desire, then fucking go for it. But if you're not that person, go the other direction.
You know, I mean, look at a guy like Alex from Black and Yellow Pavement. I mean, he doesn't just like half-ass the business or like, you know, try to do it. I mean, it's like you just have to figure out the obstacles when they come, and you have to just keep pushing forward. And it sucks and it's painful and sometimes it's hard, but at the end of the day, at the end of the week, it's just the most beautiful thing, running your own business and cashing your own checks and not having anyone, you know, over you. But yeah, you have to be very determined.
Speaking about Alex Lucic, guess when the last time it was that he actually, and this is wild, leaders are different all over, but I think this is absolutely fascinating. When do you think the last time it was that he picked up an actual shovel to do the labor, the work with his business?
That's awesome if he hasn't in a long time. I don't even know. How many years? It's been 3 years since he's had to actually be in the field. Really?
He's got a business. He doesn't do any residential work. It's all commercial. He's into now multiple seven-figure, right? Multiple seven-figure. Yeah. He's got another business that he's building, as you probably have seen. He's absolutely crushing it, man. You've got people that are haters on him because he's building that other business. They're hating on him, and they're, you know, all that stuff, man. I'll just tell you what, man. He's built an incredible company. He's proud of what he's built. He's transformed himself physically. He's transformed himself mentally, and he's living the life that he desires. He's now bought a Lamborghini in addition to that. He owns his own home, a beautiful home. I mean, that's a very nice home that he's purchased, and he's living a life where he's able to travel all over the world. Do you want to know something? What I'll say to all the haters who hate on the guy like that, I'd say maybe just take a real close look in the mirror and look at what you have right now and what your dreams are. And maybe if you want something as much as he wants it, you might go and chase it. But if not, you know what I'll say to you? Just keep living the way that you're living. That's for all the haters right there, because you guys watch these videos too. But like, straight up, if you want something in your life and you truly desire to have it, you're only here for a short period of time. Make sure that you're honest. Make sure you do it in a trustworthy way and accomplish something that's great. Help as many people as you can along the way, but be proud of what you're building, man. Nobody's going to tell me I can't be. Like, I'm in Costa Rica right now, brother, and I'm rocking it with my family, and people are like, other people are laying sealer right now while you're traveling in Costa Rica, and they're hating on me that way through Messenger. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, you guys, you don't get it. Like, let's build a bright future, and let's build all the success and momentum that we possibly can together. And guess what happens at the end of the line? We're all building a brighter future. And for people that don't want to do that, they'll just keep hating. You know what I mean? You
know, I've always thought about that, actually. Like, I know we're on some, like, you know, Facebook forums, and there have been some guys that have thrown hate your way with the Asphalt Kingdom community and stuff. And, with you, everybody else is on a brush cutting in up against garage doors, and you're on an island. So something that you've done obviously is right, and it's working out for you. And everybody else that's just hating it, and you're gonna have haters all the time, they're just jealous and they're pissed. But guys like Alex, he's a savage. He's an absolute savage, just a killer. You have to have it in your head. He's probably willing to do things that the average person just isn't willing to, like David Goggins, David Goggins. He's like probably willing to do some extreme things, take extreme risks for extreme rewards that a lot of people probably wouldn't be comfortable with that. Some people don't have it.
I was going to dig into this earlier, but I think it comes to the point too, and then I've got to rock and roll. I really appreciate all the time that you've put in with us here tonight, man, and the way we can share. And but where I was going with this, all of everything that we just spoke about, like, we're born into this big world. We get this journey that's absolutely magnificent, right? We get to experience all of these senses, and it's like we're on this like this craft called Earth, and it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour through this universe. And we get so focused in on all the small, cool, amazing, huge things to us in our life that we feel, right? Like the depth of what we feel. And it's like, I sit here right now and I will say this, the number one thing that I've seen you, since I've seen you online 3 years ago, because I watched you online, I've seen you, I've followed you on social, and I've seen it. I've seen you in the groups, and it's mindset, brother. It's all mindset. Mindset, when you take yourself from being where you are right now, it has everything to do with what you've experienced in the past up until right now. And what you are laying out for your future, whatever you believe truly with conviction, and you understand your why, and you actually have that in the distance and you're looking at it down the road, you end up in a mindset where you believe it and it absolutely unfolds. And one of the things that we practice really often, and I recommend you do the same, brother, because it changes the trajectory of your future dramatically, is you write your 18 months ahead. You actually, like, in 18 months from now, you and I will be sitting down, you'll write that 18 months right now. So you'll know, like, this season right now, you hit 250, brother, you're going to write what you're going to end up closing out in November with, like, you're going to know. And so you write that book ahead. And what you do is you take yourself in a mindset of, instead of looking at a vision board where you have like material things on the vision board, instead what we're doing is we're writing the plan to get to the vision board. And if you write that 18 months ahead, man, it unfolds things dramatically. And once you have that story nailed and you tie your mindset that is beast mode to it, you tie that to the story, it starts to unfold it. So I'm stoked for you, man. I'm really stoked for Widow and all the people in Eau Claire and where you're expanding to. I'm stoked for your team. I'm stoked for the culture that you're instilling. I'm stoked to be here to be able to share with other people. Really appreciate you tonight, brother.
Hell yeah, this is a good talk. I think a lot of people can benefit from a talk like this. Yeah, I've been wanting to jump on and do this with you. It's good
too.
Stuff.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate. Where can people follow you? Where can they find you?
You can find us blackwidowsealcoating.com. You can look up Black Widow Sealcoating. We got a Google My Business page. We got a Facebook page. You can look us up, Black Widow Sealcoating, on our Facebook page. You can go to my Facebook page, Grant Schermitzler. I post a lot of stuff most of the time, stuff like that. Actually, soon here, my drone guy is going to open up my own YouTube channel. So I'm going to have a YouTube channel for Black Widow with all our drone stuff from our homeowner association jobs, commercial jobs. I think being where people are going to see, social media is a big thing,
Huge.
Yeah.
Don Manzo was saying this the other day. He's like, man, you should try to get on a Goodyear blimp. Like, be everywhere. Be found everywhere. If if you turn a corner in your hometown and you don't see your sign somewhere, you've got a problem. Be everywhere, you know?
That crazy guy, he says, I called him on the phone, this was months ago. He says, you know, he says, when I first started out, Grant, he says, I got magnets printed. He says, hell, I was driving down the road throwing magnets on stop signs. I'm like, that's only something that he would do, you know.
Listen, you want to know something? It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know that he's doing that anymore, but certainly I know that he was, you know, but that's kind of the mindset. It's like be everywhere, you know. But yeah, man, it's an exciting time for sure. Also, I want to throw you something which I think is going to be fun, and this is it's a plug on here, but at the same time, I haven't told you about it. You might have seen a post, but I'm going to give you access for yourself to the AK Dash platform that we're launching in the middle of the month, in the middle of August. And it's a pretty badass platform. So it's got a value of about $1,200 a year to it. I'm going to give it to you, and I hope you can get in there and have some fun in there, man. That's a gift from me to you, brother.
Yeah, right on. I appreciate that, Judd. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Pleasure. So are you going to be in Tampa at the NPA?
Oh yeah, I'll be out at the NPE this year. Yep. I want to go to yeah, definitely. You know, last year was cool with the NASCAR Hall of Fame and everything. One thing I took away from that was I probably could fly in and then fly out in like 1 or 2 days. I stayed all 3 days or 4 days. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I plan on going this year again. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing you in Tampa, man, 2024 as we roll into it. So exciting for a big year ahead. Congratulations on all your success, brother. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. And I look forward to catching up in our next round 2.0, which will be a lot more exciting. Remember, you just said $250,000 you just crushed. So there's going to be the end of the season, and then there's going to be 2024 coming. So we got to knock that out of the park as well. Proud of you, bro.
Thanks, Judd. Yeah.
Follow Grant everywhere. BlackWidowSealcoating.com, correct? That's it?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, night, wherever you are on planet Earth, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.
I'm out. Be good, everyone.
If you liked this video, go ahead and check out this video, or check out this video. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe right here below.